Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sean and Brad, Guys Beer Sports, episode 20. Hard to believe we're 20 in. It's a thing, right? Like, look at us, quarantine hustling, and Gary Payton a podcast today. That's kind of how it goes. As always, we like to thank our official beer sponsor, Flyers Brewery. Folks, thank you so much for this. I just want to give them a quick shout out. I grabbed lunch there yesterday when I was getting my growler. I ordered online because, I'm antisocial. I'd rather not talk to a person if I can avoid it. And I set it all up, put it in, immediately got a phone call from them. They said, hey, I know we said it was going to be, 30 minutes. That's a default. We actually, have time now. If you can be here in 5 minutes, we'll have your food ready. So I appreciate the customer service that Flyers gives. Not everyone does that. Some people just take their time. And so shout out to Flyers and their staff, and they're just so great. Every time I'm in there, man, they're just so grateful just to be at work and see people. And so go support them. Corner of Highway 20 and Whidbey Avenue in Oak Harbor. Today I'm drinking the Heat Seeker Hefe. It's a light, refreshing Bavarian, slight hints of banana and clove. It's a great change of pace for this time of year. So cheers to our friends at Flyers. Sean, cheers to you. How are you, my friend?
I am good, as I am in the middle. I should have been doing this earlier there, but I'm in the middle of pouring here. So as I stated, I've been supporting Old Biddies over here at 111 in Copaquid Road and Lower Sackville. I got smart. I decided to get myself a growler. This is some Shady 80. It's a milk stout porter. Excellent stuff, guys. 111 Copaquid Road. They've been having live events, believe it or not, virtually. So musicians virtually while you enjoy some of your beer. Great idea. Still waiting for them to get into the NSLC, which is a local liquor control board. We don't shop at the stores like you guys, except if you're in Quebec or Newfoundland.
Shout out the Newfies. The Newfies know what's up.
There you go. That's right. So, hey, 111 Copaquid Road. Go check out Old Biddies, all right? Great beer. Hey.
Cheers, fellas.
Salut.
All right, let's get to it. Today, we've got a special guest. Sean, you want to give us a little bit of intro on who we're going to bring through, and then let's get to it.
Yes. So we have Reeze Telling coming in. He's coming to us from South Africa right now. So he's about 6 hours ahead of me and a good full 10 hours ahead of Brad. So he's taking his time out to come out with us here to talk about his story. What a great story he has. I can't wait to get him. And we also have Azam Faruqi, who is part of Boxing One Pod out in Toronto. They have a very international flavor. So unfortunately, Brad and I are not exactly cricket experts. So we got a little help.
Bringing a little bit of help, but we feel like Reese's story is great, and we just want to share with everybody. And so, with no further ado, let's bring those boys in. Let's get to it.
Absolutely. All right, so we got Azam sitting here now, and Reeze just coming in. There we go, boys.
Hello, fellas. Welcome to Guys Beer Sports.
Hey,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, guys.
Look at that St. Mary's.
I gotta represent. I had to wear the most American shirt I have, right?
We appreciate the thought.
Yeah, no, for sure. I also do have my Cricket Canada one here as well, but I thought, hey, since it's football season, it's best to wear the football, right?
I'm sure right now SMU is definitely happy that you're repping St. Mary's Huskies right now. So
yeah, for sure.
Man.
Yeah, for sure. But
so Reeze, I wanted to ask you, coming from South Africa, where you have soccer, you have rugby, big staple sports, right? What brought you towards cricket?
Well, look, it all started in school for me. I had a teacher by the name of Rob Deegan, and he was the principal of my primary school, and he was the soccer coach, and he was also the cricket coach. So basically, um, uh, coming from a area where soccer and rugby is your predominant sport in the places of color, I played soccer all of my junior life, right?
Okay.
And then when I went to the school, he then also encouraged me to play the sport. So cricket started I think it started at the age of 10 years old,
10.
where um, we would play against different schools and stuff like that, and just have a fun time and stuff. And then by when I was 12 years old, I started taking it a bit more seriously as well, because by then I would make the provincial school sides. The role models that I had also came from the same community that I stayed in. So, for instance, some of the professional players would also stay in my area and stuff like that. So we would then also play cricket in the streets.
Oh
We
wow.
would
Okay.
we would started playing in the street, and people started seeing me, and I was highly seen as a fast bowler because at my age of 12 years old, I was really quick.
Mm.
And then some people would come and see me play for my school and stuff like that. And then I played for my cricket club, which was called Calvindale Cricket Club. And then at probably 13 years old, I was playing in the men's side. So
13.
I
At
13-year
13.
ball, yeah. So a 13-year boy was playing with guys who were like 20 years old and stuff like that. But because they had identified my talent at a very young age, they then thought that they had to pull me in and start soon.
Right. So
So you were a man child, right? Is that essentially what you were doing?
In my school, I was probably the tallest boy in the school. In my grade as well. So I was very tall, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So then, yeah, so I said it's you have to start playing the big boys now.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So like, okay, 13, you're playing with the
Yeah.
men, right? And there was something I noticed in your
Yeah.
documentary there, that there was another bowler talking about how you released the ball. Your grandmother was talking about this, that they haven't seen somebody at that age release the ball like that. So can you explain
so
that?
my granny was sorry.
Yeah.
My granny was actually referring to the Australian team that toured South Africa. And I think I was in high school then. So I was probably like 17 years old. And then I was invited to come and bowl to the Australian team. So for instance, when the guys would have nets, I would invite some of the local boys to come and bowl, like the good boys, right?
Right.
The guys that had skill and stuff like that, to come and bowl at the guys. So I had the privilege to bowl to guys like Adam Gilchrist and Ricky Pontin,
I just saw Zom's face just light up. I just saw Zom's face light up because he knows the names. I don't know. Brad doesn't know.
Yeah,
These
for
are the
sure,
cricket
Stone.
equivalent of Hall of Famers, right? So
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Zom, did you have a question
So
there?
sure. So Reese, it's really awesome to meet you. So
yeah, for sure. And the same with me, buddy.
thanks. So you talk about how, when you were 12, 13, you started getting noticed, and at 17, you bowled the guys like Gilchrist and Ponting, which I think for a 17-year-old, probably the greatest day in life, right? It's one of those. Can
Yeah,
you
for
talk to
sure.
us a little bit about, because the South African team in late 90s was one of the top teams in the world, like a really powerhouse, right? Um,
Yeah.
Alan Donald, Sean Pollock, like was it one of the best fast bowlers in the world. Can you talk to us a little bit about the system that you went through and how you got picked up? How did you get noticed all the way to your first class debut, maybe?
Okay. So yeah. Wow. So um, when I started to perform in schools, um, um, I started to perform really well, and then, as I said, that I had the opportunity to work with some of the coaches over there and stuff like that, and they would invite me to the practices and stuff, to spending time with the senior provincial teams and stuff. Then then ha- half the school, I then went to the provincial academy, and then Russell Domingo, who's the previous South African coach, he was the coach back then. And then, so I spent the whole year with him and stuff, and then I just improved my skills. I had performed at the academy weeks and stuff, and then um, after the academy, the Titans. So the province that I was in was Eastern Province. So the Titans had heard of me, and they also saw me. Then I got invited to spend some time there and practice over there. And then the guys then decided to sign me. And then I played for the Titans B side. So the Titans B side is actually Northern Transvaal. So that's where I actually made my first class debut.
How
Yes.
often are you? How long are you practicing every day at this point? Like from this 13 to 19 age, you're in academy. You're doing all this. Like, how much time are you putting in every day, crafting, your skill set?
So at schools, he would generally just practice on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, and then we play on a Saturday. So schools was more of a chilled vibe, where when I started playing for the provincial side, we would like practice for probably 3 to 4 days a week, right? So
3 to 4 days a week.
yeah, so 3 day or the 5 day. So for instance, the sport would be played over a 3 day period of time, and then
Right.
you
And that's like two innings. Is that like two innings where it's like 10 batters to come up
yes,
and you have to get the 10 batters out? Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So for instance,
Woo!
we would play for 3 days. So for instance, Friday, the whole day, from 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock. Saturday, the whole day, from 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock. And then depending on
All right.
where the
I'm
game is
sorry.
at.
Reeze, I gotta ask you, how do you get commercial money for this? If people
Well-
are there watching 3 days in a row.
Oh, it's a lot of
Well,
commercials.
to tell you the truth,
That's
bro,
a lot of commercials.
well, to tell you the truth, cricket is very popular over here. So, for instance, when the international teams play, and they would play for 5 days, and people would come each
and
day to
they're
watch
there
the whole
glued
game.
to it, right?
They
Glued to
glued
it.
to it, buddy. They glued to it.
One of my friends has family in South Africa, and he said that he was there visiting in 2015 from here, right? I mean, it's a long ways to go, and he'd been there for a
for
little
sure.
bit. And his last day there was the first day of a super match. Is that a thing? A super match? And
So it's a 50 over game, probably.
yeah, and they didn't really acknowledge him the entire time. Like his last day there, they all just watched cricket, and he's like, I just sat there because they didn't want to do anything else. He's like, that's
Oh, wow.
it was like the longest sporting event I had seen.
Well, I have to tell you the story of my wife, though. I have to tell you the story of my wife.
Do tell.
So, so for instance, back then, I think it was 2011. 2011. I think it was 2011.
11? Yeah.
My wife and I started to date, right? So I told her, look, I play the sport and stuff like that, and the sport has been played on a Saturday. So for instance, so this was a 50 over game, right? So she came to the game at the start of it. So we would go through our pre-game routines and stuff like that, you know, the stretches and stuff, and then the game started at 10. So we were on the field first from 10 until 2 o'clock. We were on the field for the whole 50 over. So yeah, so
Where's your wife from? Where's your wife from?
She's from Canada.
That's
From
right. That's
Halifax,
right. So she
Nova
has no
Scotia.
idea, right? She has no idea.
She had no idea. She had no idea for what she was getting herself into. So she spent the whole day there. So when it was time to change the innings break, right?
Yeah.
When we came off the field, she thought it was done. So yeah, she's all getting excited, etc., and all these other things because she now thought, okay, wow, the game is finally done. No, it was my turn to go in and bat. And she was not happy, bro. She was not happy. She was not happy at all.
I wanted to get into your injury there, and what took away your love for a little bit there.
Well,
and
no, sorry, Sean.
No, please. I want to hear like what happened, and where are you now? You know what I mean? Like where are you at now with everything? So
yeah, for sure. So Sean and Brad and Azam. So for instance, I was a fast bowler, but I was also recognized as a batter who can bat also as well. So I had to do twice the work, right? So
you're like Babe Ruth. That's all I keep thinking of is Babe Ruth back in the 1920s when he was pitching and hitting. And then they finally moved him to another position. They finally moved him to another position because it's like, we have to have your bat in there all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I had to do twice the work, right? So I had to practice hard and stuff like that. And then if you play in the game, so for instance, I'm the type of guy that I will be the first at practice and the last to go home, or the first on the game and the last guy to leave the field, right? Because of the hard work that I put in, I started to pick up an Achilles tendon injury. And the more I played, the more I aggravated. The more I would injure myself and
Yeah,
stuff
just
like
it
that.
got
So, for
bad,
instance,
right?
I would play and heal, and then play again and then heal, but I wouldn't do the full recovery, right? So I would just like,
It's just enough time to heal for the next game, but it's never really fully healed. Yeah.
So the more I continued to play, the more I hurt myself, and then um, but I would play through the sport injury and stuff like that. So the more I, so for instance, I would play through the pain. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I would practice through the pain and play through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would just do the short-term recovery and stuff like that, and then just play again. And then eventually, when I did the 12-man duties for the international team, so for instance, I was a guy who was the part of the South African team back in 2006. We had a tour inside over here, and the South, so the coach gave myself and two other players the privilege to spend some time with the team to understand the culture and also understand the team dynamics and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? And then
Right.
I had the privilege to go onto the field on an international game as a sub fielder. So, for instance, this
I can't even
really
happens. Imagine the honor.
It really happens. Like to go onto the field for the international team. When I walked down the stairs to go onto the field, I actually took I had to take a couple of seconds to see the crowd and take that all in. Like I had the South African badge on my heart. You understand what I'm saying? And this was half of the dream come true.
Yeah.
And I stood there, and the guys were on the field trying to wave me down. Yo, 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 come, come, come. You have to stand there. You have to. I'm like, okay, cool, sure. So then so then again, I think one of the spinners that bowled was Hickey Bogia. I don't know. So he was the South African spin bowler, but he was probably the best in the country at the time. And
spin bowler, you said?
Yeah,
Spin bowler?
so he's the guy would come. So he would be a slow bowler. So he would be a very
almost
slow
like
bowler.
a knuckleball almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the ball went past me, and I ran after the ball, and I slid right into the advertising boards. So back then the advertising boards was made of steel. So when I hit the board, it was too late. So the impact that I made onto the boards actually snapped my Achilles tendon. And there I was playing through the pain and stuff like that and on the field. And then
you continued?
Well, not continued. So how was the field on the boundary line? So we have a boundary line, so it's the line before you hit the home run, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So I was walking, and I'm like, yeah, hey, bro, I'm in pain. But then I didn't, so I didn't pick it up at the time. But when I went to the doctor the following day, and he did, like he did the X-rays and stuff like that, because of me playing through the sports injury that I had, and when I was snapped my Achilles tendon, by then I had already caused strain to my calf and my hamstring and my glute. So, for instance, when
Right
the
up.
Achilles tendon was done, it was done. Like
Ooh.
my whole leg was done. It was done. So, and by then I had signed a contract to play overseas. So, for instance, I signed a contract to go play in the in England. And the contract that I signed would last me up for 5 years. So, for instance, I would go there in the summer and play, come back, and go back again, right?
Yeah.
So this contract set me up for life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
money that I was going to earn there was really good.
Yeah.
So when the doctor told me eventually that I had to stop playing, like I had to stop playing, I had to stop practicing, I had to just sit on my butt and actually just hard walk.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he told me that if I had to continue playing, there would be the possibility that I would lose the functions of my leg
Oh my goodness.
because it was so severely hurt
Yeah.
that if if I had to continue playing, bro, I wouldn't. No. I probably would not be able to walk.
Well,
I guess
from what you're saying, if that went from the Achilles to your calf, all
straight
the way
up.
up to your
Yeah.
that's your
There's
glutes.
a lot of nerves in the leg that are important. You
Yeah.
know, see that in other sports too, and big injuries, and it's just really unfortunate. That's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So when I was sitting in the doctor's office, and this was back in 2006, and I was a young man. I was 21 years old, and I was uh, so upset. You
Oh, I can
understand what I'm
imagine.
saying?
I can
The
imagine you're on the
disappointment
brink.
I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so upset that I was so disappointed in myself that I continued to play the way I did, right? Because if I had to stop back then when I first had it and had to go for the treatment that I had to, I would have I would have not been in that position,
Right.
right? So like um, I had no sports or real sports agent at the time. I did have a guy who was acting as my sports agent.
Right.
I remember the conversation I had with him, and I told him, "Yo, bro, I think I have to stop playing because the doctor said that I had to stop playing. So now, if the doctor says you have to stop playing, you have to stop playing, right?"
Uh,
And then I went back to my hometown, and I was so upset. I was depressed. I was filled with anger. I started to hate the sport because whenever I turned on the TV, my friends were playing. So for instance, like I had a big resentment towards the sport,
And
right?
understandably so. Understandably so, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. That's understandable.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
I can't even fathom something like that you work so hard to get to, and then it's taken
Yeah,
away from you because you work so hard
within
to
an
get to
instant.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I know, man. Look, to tell you the truth, I also didn't take care of my body as well because I was the type of guy that I wanted to be out in the clubs and stuff like that and party
You were
and
21.
drink up. Yeah.
And
So so I didn't actually take care of myself as well, right?
uh,
So
21. I
because
mean,
of
what's there to take
yeah,
care of? I don't know.
yeah. I was young. I was known in the area. I like the spotlight and stuff like that. And bro, to tell you the truth, when I started to realize that this can all be taken away from me, while it did, right?
Mhm.
There was no plan B for me. I
Mhm.
had no real plan B because all I did was eat, drink, sleep, cricket,
Right.
and that was it, right?
Hmm. So, how far did you go down this hole, um, that you ended up having to fill this void that was gone, right? Like this void
Yeah,
of
no, for sure.
eat, breathe, sleep, cricket, and you filled it with obviously, because you're devastated, so you're trying to self-medicate, right? You're
Yeah,
self-medicating, you're trying to just get through one day at a time, right? So
yeah.
you ended up getting into an addiction at that point, correct? Or
Well, to tell you the truth, when I went back home to my hometown, yes, it was good to be home.
mm,
I was, I saw my mom, my granny, my friends, and my sister, and stuff like that. So it was really good to be home with people that I cared for.
yeah,
Although also as well at the time I was also engaged too. So for instance, I told my fiance at the time that I had to go back home and spend some time there, right? So that I can just gather my thoughts and stuff like that and try to uh, figure out the next step for me, right?
mm-hmm,
Yeah, because I mean, the healing process was going to be a long one. Like I was talking about a year or two, right? And then, like, I had to figure out what is the next thing, right? So when I started to come home, well, when I went home, I started to party a whole lot. Like I was the main man, right?
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
started to party. I was blowing my cash out in the clubs, in the pubs and stuff like that, just drinking it up and all those other things. And the type of guy that I was, um, I would never go home drunk
right,
because I respected my mother and my granny as well because oh, I never grew up without without a father. So for instance, my granny was also like my mom, right? And my mother had to play the both roles and stuff like
both
that. So
roles.
I didn't really get the support that I was searching for,
Yeah,
that a father would give you, right?
right,
So I was just hitting it up in the clubs. I would party from a Wednesday night to a Monday morning. So, for
yeah,
instance, I would go to the clubs and just book myself a hotel and take some girls back with me and friends and
mm-hmm,
stuff like that and just have a drink at the hotel, right? And then one of these nights that I went out, there were some people that I met, and it's not the people that you as a sports person or a sports star would be or hope to be associated with, right?
Right.
So I was just drinking it up, and I was telling the people whoever wants to continue the party should just come to my hotel, right? And that's where then I started to find out about the drug called meth, because I was so drunk and the people took advantage of me and spend my cash and stuff like that, because I was so I would literally pass out as well. Like I would get so drunk that I would
You
pass
know,
out with
the truth,
random strangers around
yeah.
me.
Like the truth is that you were trying to fill that void that cricket had in your
Yeah.
life, right?
Yeah,
And so when you're trying to still remain on top mentally, I'm sure
yeah,
that you're out there and you're doing whatever it is to bring people to you, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I know
yeah,
this story. I know this story very well because I think Brad knows the
yeah, for sure.
story. You know, so
Yeah,
Azam, I don't know you very well, so I can't say one way or the other, but I know this story very well, and it's always sad because you never really you're looking for something to fill what you
yeah,
had, and it's just
yeah,
it's yeah. I can't even.
Well,
I
yeah,
can't even.
you know, in my experience with that kind of stuff is just you don't have the strength to admit you need help, and so you just are
yeah,
trying to numb those things medically as best you can, right? And
yeah,
uh, you know, eventually for me, it ended up being therapy and finding safe places to be and good friends and those things that would keep
yeah,
you accountable and keep you moving and and that kind of thing, and not because I think when you are the biggest or the strongest or the fastest or the most popular or those things, and then what you have found your identity to be is taken away from you, or you can no longer perform that level. That's a hard thing to deal with on your own, and
yeah,
it takes a big person to be able to say that they need help. And a lot of
yeah,
times, I think, the masculine culture says we shouldn't ask for help. And then we just try to, numb that pain
yeah,
away. And unfortunately, it's the same scenario that you found with your Achilles, is that we're not ever healing, right? We're just doing enough to get through. And then
Just to
eventually,
get through. Yeah.
yeah. And that's so true.
yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah, because I was in that situation, right? So, for
Mhm.
instance, um, from being a sports person or a promising young star, I would say,
Yeah.
I don't like to speak of myself as, the good player or the best player or that, but these are the things that was told to me, right? That I
Well,
was one
just real
that was
quick.
being
Here's my
positive.
viewpoint of you is this. This is what my viewpoint is that you were able to represent your country at a high level.
Not
High
yet,
level.
almost,
You
almost.
played.
You played. You went out there, right?
with the patch on.
I was a
Right?
fielder.
But
I was a
still,
fielder.
it's more than any of us have done.
That's it.
And you had a
Yeah,
contract to go play in a high. I mean, I imagine that England is the cricket capital, or one of them, right? Like
One of them, like
Yeah.
India,
yeah.
India, I'd say England would be a huge
So
one
you're
because
an elite.
Yeah, the summer
Australia.
leagues are pretty
Listen, bro.
lucrative,
Look,
right? For a lot of
yeah,
you're an elite athlete. You be
yeah.
proud of
I
yourself.
think you could be proud to say that you were.
Look,
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. I'm a
I could
humble
say that.
person, bro.
I
I
know.
appreciate the humbleness, but like, let's not sell
Yeah.
yourself short. Like, let's celebrate your accomplishments a little bit. Like, you did
Yeah,
some real
yeah,
things.
yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah,
You know,
okay, okay.
you were on the brink of yeah.
I appreciate the humbleness, I do, but like, you know what you were. Like, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, and yeah, so like I was rubbing her shoulders in the changing rooms with the guys like AB Villiers and Dale Staines and Morne Morkel. Like some of these guys had gone on to be real stars in the sport, right?
Yeah.
Across the world. And I had the opportunity to share a dressing room with and stuff like that. And yeah, I found myself a couple of years later in a toilet with a meth pipe in my mouth. Had some guys that you should not be with, right?
But it's
And to see
amazing.
myself, yeah,
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to think that, you know, you were there on the precipice and then how it all changes like that. What though ended up changing for you to bring you out of that? Because you just don't come out of that. You don't come out of that unless there's something supernatural that brings you out of that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
no,
not something.
there,
It's not something you just walk in like, I'm done this now. You know, like
yeah.
it doesn't happen that
To tell you the truth, I went through addiction for 7 years.
way. Mhm.
For 7 years, you know, I was once a cricket player who would spend his address on a sports field, or whether it was in a week or something like that. I found myself on the street. I found myself scratching in buns to eat a meal. I found myself trying to kill myself 4 times, where I tried to commit suicide within that 7 years, that I was so in a broken place that my family wanted nothing to do with me. My friends that I had, when they would see me in the street, they would turn around and just go or to walk in
A different direction.
direction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was so bad, bro, that the people that I hurt the most was the people that was actually close to me. I would steal, you know, I would plan some house break-ins and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Because hacking is fairly common over here. So, for instance, South Africa has a very high crime rate. So, to get involved with gangsterism and drugs and stuff like that is a norm, right? And I found myself in a place where I was broken and lost. For 7 years of my life, I was addicted to drugs and staying on the street with broken clothes. The Reeze you see over here is not the Reeze that you who would recognize 10
Right.
years ago, right?
Right.
I'll send you a picture of the day I went to rehab, actually.
Okay.
Bro,
I'd love to see
I
it.
was
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I was thin. I was so
Wow.
thin that the people
Wow.
didn't even recognize me.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Now, but this is your glow up now, right? Like you turn the corner, you get there. If
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, so the reason why I'm sharing it is that I want people to understand that 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 a person that is addicted to drugs or whatever drug it is, you lose yourself.
Mm.
You lose yourself. You lose your morals. You lose your values and stuff like that. Like the stuff that I had to do to maintain my habit was not the person that I was.
in
In
my experience,
2011,
people that I've had those things too. You know, I'm
yeah,
looking. You know, our time's getting short, and one thing I wanted to give you the opportunity to say is, if you could say anything to anyone out there that's struggling, what would your advice be to anyone that maybe is struggling, or anyone maybe more importantly, anyone that knows someone who is struggling? Like, what is the things that could be helpful? If you could just say any kind of advice to people that are struggling on any spectrum, like what would you say to those people?
there is hope. Yeah, I am, you know. 2011, I decided to change my life. I had a open and natural encounter with God that He gave me the opportunity to go to rehab. It was a Christian facility. It's called Teen Challenge. So Teen Challenge is all over the world. And there is where my life started to turn around for me.
What's
You
it called?
understand? Because I found my faith again. Teen Challenge.
Teen Challenge?
Yes.
I've heard of them actually down in
They
the
are all
US.
over.
That's right. That's right.
They are all over there.
Listen,
He's
I grew
one
up,
just like 2 hours away from
yeah.
Halifax as well.
I know. I grew up in the churches, right? And so I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and then you go away from Christianity for a time being to go figure out something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
realize that, like, for me, I'm still Christian. You know, I had to
yeah.
come back to my faith because if it's practiced correctly, it's
Yeah.
patience and understanding for everybody. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
not.
it's
Yeah.
grace and it's mercy and it's hope.
Yeah.
It's meeting people where they are and understand, and it's wanting to love someone for their soul, not for their actions.
Not for their
That's
actions.
what it
Yeah.
is.
Zero
Yeah,
judgment.
so
Yeah.
We all need
yeah,
that.
for
We all need
sure.
more of
So
that.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so the reason why I say, or my encouragement to people is very simple. There is hope. The reason why I say that, if I could go through it and go through the rehab, because rehab is actually the easy part, although you don't see it then. Rehab is actually the easy part. The tough part is coming back from rehab and going back to the place where you had to face all the people that you did the things to, right? And having to stay clean. That is the hard part. But if you surround yourself with a positive influence, you can do it.
Yeah.
With God on your side, you can overcome anything and you can do it.
Listen,
And
I
that is
love
it.
Yeah,
I love
Reeze,
this.
I love your story.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for coming and telling us today, you know, the power outage. Zam, thank you for being here and your input into like helping us understand what cricket is.
Yeah. Thank
This
you.
has been just an amazing story of hope and victory. You know, and I, like I said before, I appreciate your humbleness, but man, don't lose your shine, brother. Like you're somebody special. You've got a story. You've got hope, and we can just feel your energy, man. So don't be like. I appreciate you being humble, man, but don't sell yourself short. You've done some real things, man.
Like,
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure. I
You go
appreciate
get
it,
some
Brad.
market.
that's exactly it. And I
Yeah,
also,
no, I appreciate it, Brad.
are you in the middle right now of trying to come over to Canada as well, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no. So, for instance, we decided to move to Canada in 2016 and was hoping to do my PR application in Canada, but because of the bad things I did, I had to come back to South Africa to get my stuff cleared and everything else.
right.
So now I had eventually did that. So my family is currently in Halifax.
Okay.
So we are busy with my PR and hoping to receive a decision in sometime March or so.
Okay.
So I have been back in South Africa for the last 2 years now, just
Okay.
trying to sort out everything.
Well, listen, I'm going to be praying for that there, that it goes
Yeah.
through. Cause I also heard that you're supposed to be coaching over
Oh, I
here, like
appreciate-
eventually, like that's one of the jobs you're looking at there.
Yeah, so while I was in Canada, I was actually volunteering for the provincial team over there,
Okay. Yeah.
on Nova Scotia,
Yeah.
provincial team, and I was actually from 2017 until this year, I was a national selector for Cricket Canada as well.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Well, listen, I'm going to be praying for this to come through there. So in March, you're going to be able to come be reunited with your family.
Yeah, for
Reeze,
sure.
I would love to have you back on. Brad, what do you say we have Reeze back on sometime in this new year, upcoming year there? I would love that.
Let's get it. We have we'll do some more
Yeah.
time. We'll talk some more about just all these things. It's been fun talking to you. Sorry our time.
Yeah, for sure, Brad.
We'll talk soon.
Hey, Azam,
Yep.
thanks again for coming on there from Boxing One Pod. Couldn't have done this without you. Thank you for coming on last night and teaching me a bit about cricket as well.
No, thanks, Sean. Thanks, Brad, for having me on today and letting me listen to Reeze's story. That was incredible and very, very inspiring, and was really, really nice to hear from you, Reeze. Best of
I
luck with everything you do.
appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for
Absolutely.
sure.
All right.
We'll be
I
talking
appreciate
soon.
the show on Brad Azam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Don't
for
be a
sure.
stranger, Reeze. Don't be a stranger.
No, for sure.
All right. Oh
Man,
my
that was
gosh.
awesome.
That was powerful as
Yeah,
far as
that
I'm
was
concerned,
good.
as far as the story is concerned.
Yeah.
And Brad, I'm glad you said what you said because it's true. You are an athlete. You're a premier athlete.
Well, and I appreciate his humility, and just how he carries himself. But I also I always don't like to see people sell themselves short. And so if we can be advocates for those people, then we should be, because I think growing up, when you played. I know for me, just playing sports in the little leagues, in those things, you always dream of watching athletes in the Olympics and representing your country, and just being able to be on that team is a special thing. And so I didn't want him to short sell that, right? I mean, that's a big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Not many folks get to do that. And speaking of things that not many folks get to do, quickly, I want to get into this NFL season. We're rolling in. This is kind of the witching hour, right? It's when
14.
seasons get made, seasons fall apart. It's super fascinating.
All right.
Then watching it and listening today, you realize the NFC East is so crazy that they might either have a sub 500 division winner, or
I already said that.
or two.
I already
teams
said that.
Or
How is it 2 teams in the playoffs? What are you talking about?
we can get into it later. I want to get into the
You
game.
think the Giants and the Redskins, I'm sorry, the Washington football team are both going to win? The rest of they're going to run the gamut?
Listen to me. Not think possible. Not probable. No. I'm just saying it's a weird scenario.
Just because just because the Giants beat your Seahawks and treated Russell Wilson the way he should be treated.
If I was gonna be like you, Sean, I would go buy the Giants jersey, but I didn't. On to the next one.
That was very good, bro.
Chiefs, Dolphins.
I was trying to egg you on there.
I'm too seasoned for losing. They're not gonna get it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're
Chiefs,
looking
Dolphins.
at what are we looking at?
Chiefs, Dolphins. I think Kansas City has a chance to wrap up. I think they'll win the AFC West if they win. They're chomping ahead for the number 1 seed, right? They won home field.
I think they're going to get number 1 seed. I don't see Pittsburgh running the gamut through Buffalo and Cleveland. There's no way. There's no way.
It's Kansas City's race to lose.
Absolutely.
Andy Reid's teams historically just destroy rookie quarterbacks, so Tua probably comes back down to earth a little bit. So I think it's Kansas City, and I think it's big, even on the road.
Yeah, I don't think Miami has a chance in this one. Unfortunately, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Not that they don't have a chance. I just think it's not going to be something they're going to pull out as a win.
Brian Flores has them playing well, right?
Yeah.
I think they're competitive in a lot of realms, but they're not. I just think Kansas City late season, Kansas City, especially Andy Reid's teams are historically great late season. They're maybe not as great in the playoffs, but in the closeout, when it matters most, they're going to win.
Yeah.
Another interesting game that comes through. Now, interesting is not the right word for any of these games, maybe, but that's when it comes to playoff potential and positioning, is where we are. Is this Vikings Buccaneers game?
I was just looking at that, buddy.
This is the
totally agree. I totally agree because the Vikings are still outside looking in at a playoff spot. Believe it or not.
Well, this is it. If they lose this game,
it's done.
It's probably over.
Yeah, but same thing with the Buccaneers. If they lose this game, it's probably over as well. Because they've been losing. It's not like they've been on the right side of this.
I fully agree. Right now, the playoffs are walking into a 32% chance for the Vikings. Jumps to a 64% chance for the win falls to 23% and done.
I'm not listening to your analytics anymore. You said that 49ers had a 1.5% point spread over Buffalo, and you saw what Buffalo did to the Niners.
That was a point spread. That wasn't analytics.
You saw what they did. You saw what they did.
I did see what they did, and I told you that I wanted Buffalo to win. I just didn't think.
I know. You were a secret Buffalo fan that day. I know. So here's some games that honestly, I mean, Titans Jaguars. We already know the Titans are going to win that one. They're coming back from that loss against Buffalo. They're looking to win. Jaguars are unfortunately going to be.
And it's Jacksonville.
It's in Jacksonville, but Jaguars.
I'm just saying that it's Jackson. I mean, they were surprising last week in Minnesota, but we just talked about Minnesota and their struggles. So
yeah,
we're not really worried about it.
Broncos Panthers is a toss up. I mean,
yeah, it's a game of not watching it, right? I mean, I'm gonna all see it. I'm not tuning into that game. Texans Bears, I feel similarly about that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Texans season's over. Bears season's essentially over. Yeah, and it's time for the Bears to clean house. They have a clean house, man.
Yeah,
they look terrible.
They've got to go. Yeah, you got to wonder about Matt.
Sorry,
Nagy.
Dave.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. I think Matt Nagy's probably on the way out.
Yeah.
I guess maybe there's two ways to go about it, right? Is that Trubisky and Foles experiment is over, and Nagy.
Oh, that's done. Yeah.
Or they bring Nagy back for one more year with the quarterback of his choosing. You know, a lot of quarterbacks are changing around. That might be the thing, but I think
who knows?
I think they're all gone. It's just Chicago leadership isn't great, and so who knows what happens. But
okay, so let me just go off topic for 1 second here, okay? Adam Gase doesn't get the axe, but his defensive coordinator gets the axe.
So here's the thing: Adam Gase is going to get the axe.
You think?
Right? Yes. Adam Gase cut Greg Williams out. That's the move, right? Is that Gase fired Williams, not the leadership, and the leadership group from the Jets is going to fire Adam Gase the day.
He needs to go. He's a cancer.
Yeah, they call it Bloody Monday, and Adam Gase is a part of Bloody Monday.
Yeah. Well, that was a terrible call. I don't know what he was thinking, but
he should have been fired for that call. That was terrible. You don't get burned like that in high school football. I mean, in the last gas play where you're going and throwing a Hail Mary, you don't send 7 blitzers and leave your corner out there. You put guys in the end zone and defeat it. Only a touchdown beats you.
So for guys like Ryan, for guys like Jason, for guys like Robert, just going to let you guys know, all right? If you send the house at the quarterback on a Hail Mary play the last few seconds, you still have time. It's not even that much time, and you got that many yards. You do not send the house and leave one man as an island.
Or you just don't. Because here's the thing. If only a touchdown beats you, you put your 4 tallest, most athletic receivers or cornerbacks in the end zone and let the ball be in front of you so you can knock it down.
Unbelievable.
It's been run. I think it was like 450 times that play has been run in the last 50 years.
I bet you that guy. I bet you that defensive coordinator, Adam Gase, and the defensive coordinator are going to have great jobs in the CFL next year.
It probably works in the CFL.
Yeah. All right. Seriously now. Cardinals, Giants.
That was serious. Cardinals, Giants. I'm looking for the Giants to keep their momentum. I really need the Cardinals to lose. That's just me being.
I do too. Honestly, Kyler Murray all of a sudden after that Hail Murray, he's been looking to be a real. I know he's been looking to be a real quarterback, right? He hasn't been running as much, and if Daniel Jones is playing, Giants win this game.
Yeah, let's hope so. I hope they got enough juice out of last week they can make some damage, because as long as they continue to beat the Cowboys and beat the Washington football team, they'll be fine.
Here's the thing. Cowboys are going to be still relevant for another season, another week. Andy Dalton is beating Cincinnati. He's coming back to Cincinnati. He's beating Cincinnati.
The Red Rifle. See, I got it right.
Red Rifle is he's beating his old team. They're going to be relevant for one more week. They're going to be the playoff hunt for one more week in the NFC.
That's fine. The only team I can root for in the NFC East is the Giants. Not really root for, who would just not feel gross about. So, who would? Yeah, man. Listen, I can't believe Dallas is even favored in this game. It's a 3-9.
Why wouldn't you?
It's a 2-9-1 Cincinnati team.
I understand that, but the thing is, though, is that you're still looking at no real quarterback for Cincinnati since Joe Burrows is out, and you're looking at Andy Dalton coming into his old stomping grounds.
You know what would be fascinating as a favor on the road too? You know, is fascinating for me is normally this, would be the tie is funny for me in this one, but ties are just silly.
I hear you.
Colts and Raiders. Who thought this would be a game?
This is going to be a game.
Going
this
in,
is a game.
You thought this would have been like the highlight game of Week 14, but here we are.
Oh, right? I don't know if it's a highlight game of Week 14. It is one that I have check marked.
This has the most check marked. It has the most on the line.
No. Steelers, Bills, and Ravens, Browns, I would argue with you, have the most on the line coming up this week. We'll get into that, buddy.
Three of those teams are secure in their playoff standing. The Colts and the Raiders are not.
Well, I think it's going to be the Colts beating the Raiders. That's my honest. Yeah. That's my honest what I feel in my heart.
I think it's not more than what we think. I think this, it's been an up and down Raiders team.
Yeah.
I think we see a down Raiders team this week, and I know you hate these analytics, but right now it's a coin flip for the Raiders to make the playoffs. If they win this game, it goes to a 75% chance of them going in. If they lose it, it goes down to.
You lost to Atlanta, and you got spanked by Atlanta. You don't deserve to be in the postseason. I'm sorry. Those are teams you should be beating.
This is the game that I'm going to be keeping an eye on because I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, you don't deserve to be in the postseason, Raiders. Stupid Raiders.
Just because your coach has a stupid haircut, you shouldn't be in the postseason.
That's exactly it. I'm sorry, Christopher Fuller. Sorry. I hate your Raiders.
Knock if you hear me.
Oh, I hear you.
That's the if you watch Hard Knocks, that's the John Gruden thing. He always like in a team meeting, he's like, knock if you're with me. And then everyone knocks on the thing,
Yeah, go back to Monday Night Football, dude.
John Gruden's a great college coach.
I think you know what? He lost his job, I think, to Booger McFarland, though. I think Booger's got that pretty much on lockdown now on Monday nights.
I would like to see them both if they're on the same product, the same
possibly, yeah. All right, your Seahawks might be able to win a game, buddy. They might be able to win a game.
They've already won 8 this year.
Yeah, all sub 500. You only beat one above 500 team. You're about to get a gift.
They're not
going
to negotiate the schedule. That's nothing. That says
this is a gift. You should have beat the Giants last week. You should be embarrassed. You shouldn't be wearing any Seattle stuff. You should be embarrassed.
All you need to know.
I love you, Brad. I love you. I love you, man. Show that B-Rad. Oh, man.
Sounders
in the MLS Cup for a 4-season chance to win 3 out of 4. All right. I'll give you that. Yeah. But you should be embarrassed at your Seahawks right now. That was just atrocious.
That was gross.
Like, what were they thinking? Against Cole McCoy. What were they thinking?
Once again, Russell Wilson shouldn't have to play perfect to win the game. He should have to play like an average quarterback in the NFL. If he would have played an average game.
Whoa.
If he would have played.
Russell Wilson. Okay, first off, you need the running game. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But you have enough weapons on that ball. You shouldn't be losing like that.
That's what I'm saying. If Russell Wilson would have played an average NFL quarterback game, they would have won. The defense played well enough to win.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Russell Wilson is Jekyll and Hyde this year. He's either super hot or he's super terrible. And all we need is average Russell.
Yeah.
All I need.
I think he's always looking for that big play downfield. Like he's always looking for that 50-yarder downfield. It's never
we have a good running game, but that's not it. And then Pete Carroll tries to get cute, and then look at where we are. And we lose this stupid ass Giants team and almost get outscored by the defense.
Well, you can't afford to get beaten up by this Jets team.
The defense and special teams were 5 points, and we almost outscored the offense. That's a gross day. It's gross. It's inexcusable.
Okay, now I feel bad that you're actually saying this about your Seahawks. No, I'm sorry.
I have worse things to say. I just don't want to be on the internet.
I'm not that sorry. Typical passive-aggressive Canadian just jumps in.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Shut up, Canadian. All right. So, hey, by the way, the Shady 80 is like, I think 6%. So I've had a few of these. I don't know if you understand that. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit
I've been
giddy.
watching. Yeah, getting a little loose.
Yeah.
Send me karaoke videos that we're singing later.
All right. Packers,
you know-
Lions. Who cares about Packers, Lions? Packers are going to win this.
Yeah.
Lions are garbage. They beat Chicago.
Yeah, super fascinating to see the story this week that Matt Stafford maybe doesn't have the stomach for Derek Pebble, which is, it's just dumb. Whatever, it's fine.
Whatever. Listen, we be talking about this, how much they hate Green Bay Packers hate Aaron Rodgers. You're still playing with one wide receiver, and he's making lemonade out of lemons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just threw his 400th career touchdown pass and was the fastest to do it, and his 200th to Devontae Adams. So, I mean, that's not right. That's what they said, but that doesn't sound correct. That can't be right.
I don't know. What I do know is that is a talent, and I think he be probably served better elsewhere than in Green Bay. You want Jordan Love? Let Jordan Love go and play. Get rid of let Aaron Rodgers go to a team that he can make his team.
Would you support Aaron Rodgers in Buffalo?
I think Josh Allen is the next coming. So
Of Aaron Rodgers?
No, next coming of Tom Brady, but he's a great system. He's a great system quarterback, my friend. How can you say anything but that after what you saw what he did to San Francisco? He looked calm, cool, and collected, and threw that many great touchdowns.
With San Francisco and their 25 IR players. But that's
whoa. You still have Ron Sala there ending up giving his DC knowledge over to these guys.
You think they still aren't executing. Do you think that I'll just leave it alone. We'll talk about it next time. We can talk about it Monday. 49ers
next coming of Tom Brady.
Only Sean McDermott's next coming of Bill Belichick.
All right. I'm sorry. Keep going. Washington 49ers. Washington wins that game.
I mean, this is another interesting game for me because there's playoffs involved.
Playoffs involved.
You're going to get the best effort from both sides.
Niners losing this game. Washington's got enough momentum going.
Alex Smith getting a little bit of comeback on the 49ers in that leadership group.
Yep. Alex Smith, he's going to lead them.
I could buy it.
Yeah. Saints Eagles, I say Taysom Hill starts again. Jalen Hurts is starting.
Taysom Hill, Jalen Hurts bowl, and it's gross.
Yeah, but I still see the Saints winning this.
Yeah, the Saints are going to win by a lot because they have Alvin Kamara and all those offensive weapons.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if Russell Wilson would just have an average-ass game like Taysom Hill does, they would have beat the Giants. God bless America.
Oh, and finally, something right here. What I love to see. 2 primetime games that I have been dying for.
The Falcons and the Chargers, the game of the week for Sean. Look how excited he is. Wow. Oh, wait.
That's disgusting what you just said.
Oh, here we are.
I mean, I purposely brushed off the Falcons and the Chargers because neither of them are making the postseason. That's just a game. That's just a game happening.
I couldn't let you do it. So
Steelers, Bills, Sunday night game.
Yep.
Dude.
Look at a little 1.5 favorite there.
Yes. You want to know why? Because they have momentum.
Yep. Who does?
Buffalo. They got momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they do. They do. The Steelers also have, I think, to reconcile their effort last time they played. So
They do. I'm not saying that they don't, but you're about to do it in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. And it's going to be interesting to see James Conner coming off of the COVID list, see what kind of gas tank he has. I mean,
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous about that because, I mean, they're athletes. He hasn't been not working out. You know what I mean?
Well,
so he might have fresh legs.
Here's the thing, though, that we don't know is when they're on that COVID list is how sick they actually are. Because some of them, like it sounds like maybe Mark Ingram was actually down and out for days, and that's why when he came back and played, he only got 3 or 4 snaps because he didn't have the gas tank to go because he'd been And so
That's interesting.
that's the thing we're not hearing, and rightfully so. We shouldn't hear those, personal.
No, not before game time. That's something that you give. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
just
after.
Just because they're on the list doesn't mean that they're all right. They might be really.
Let's put it this way: if the Steelers win the Super Bowl, maybe we'll see it in America's game. You know what I mean? When they talk about that season.
Yeah.
All right. Monday night crown jewel, baby.
Yep.
Browns Ravens.
Man, you are just hot, right? You got 2.
That's right.
Time. Are you able to stay up late 2 nights in a row?
I'm gonna do it. I am so stoked. I can't believe it. 2 primetime games.
Man, the Ravens need.
I get to watch both of them.
You believe that the Ravens are favored in Cleveland?
I can, just only because of the last game. I can, but I guarantee you this is a different Cleveland Browns team than what they saw in week 1.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that. So Baker Mayfield hasn't thrown a pick of 3 games.
Why would you
Myles Garrett, no, I said it last time too. He hasn't thrown it. Myles Garrett's back. You said, "Oh, Myles Garrett." Myles Garrett's legit.
I'll never respect Myles Garrett.
I know. I understand that. You obviously said that. You said I was delusional, but
I'm
Myles.
not saying he's a bad player. I just think he's a shitty person.
Listen, you can be a crappy person and yet still be some sort of talent, like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Golden Tate.
I don't like Golden Tate either. Golden Showers can suck it.
Yeah, I know. Listen, man.
Ramsey beat his ass.
Browns Ravens. That's a big game. So Ravens have to win.
Yeah.
Like they have to win to stay in playoffs.
This is the good time of year because it's divisional football.
Mm-hmm.
I love divisional football when the playoffs matter.
Smash mouth.
And then we're playing primetime games in 2 cold weather places, which means the pads are popping, boys are hitting. It's gonna be a game. Like both of those, I'm excited for both. This is probably the most excited I've been for back-to-back primetime games all year, to be honest with you.
Buddy.
I'm excited to watch both.
I'm happy to hear that. I just gotta say this one thing.
I'm on the other side of the fence, at least for the Cleveland Browns game. So.
Shut up. Whatever. Listen, I gotta say this one thing right now.
I hope your Bills win. That's gotta mean something to you.
All right, so 50-50. Okay. So we're gonna be on the same boat there for that. Yeah. Listen, I do have to say this right now for my cousin, Ron. If you're listening, I hope your Ravens suck it. I hope they suck it.
You are on one today. How much beer have you had?
I had a couple. Right. I'm a big man.
Big man with a low tolerance.
All right. So listen, we also have I wanted to get into the NHL season. We don't have enough time. Yeah. We don't have enough time.
We can jump. We have plenty of time for NHL talk later.
Yeah.
Let's talk quickly about this card. I think we both feel a certain way about this card.
Yes.
Tonight, there's definitely some
the prelims for sure. I feel a certain way about. Yeah,
I do too. I think super interesting card. We got some people fighting out of places close to both our hearts this week. So,
I want to give a shout out. Yeah, you go first, man. You go first.
I'm good. I'm good. I just know someone that knows somebody, so I don't really know her. So
listen. So Gavin Tucker. I know you and TJ have been talking. TJ Grant. You're representing Nova Scotia. You're representing HRM. Listen, buddy. Best of luck tonight. I really hope that you take it to Billy Quarantillo. I hope that your record improves. I hope you make it to the main card. All that good stuff for you, okay? His record's 12-1. I think this guy's on the up and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, Gavin, I hope you smash Billy's face in, and then let's talk about it.
Yeah, Gavin, absolutely. Yeah, smash Billy's face in. Make an appointment to come on Guys Beer Sports. We'll talk about it. That's awesome.
Yep. And then Sam Hughes fighting on short notice tonight, week out.
Yeah, she's taking Angela Hill's, right? Angela Hill's position.
Yeah, so she'll step in and do some work, represent the Pacific Northwest. So shout out to our local fighters. But again, like we said, Gavin, best of luck. Stay healthy, my friend. Do your thing. 13-1 coming for post-fight. Happy to see it.
Gavin, I'm going to be looking too to see if you, after this win, where you actually rank there in the featherweight area there, because it's going to be awesome. I mean, if you go 13-1, I think you're definitely deserve it on the main card and some better things to come. So,
yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we are deep in our realm here. So once again, thanks to Guys Beer Sports official sponsor, Flyers Brewery. Check them out. They got great specials. They got happy hour deals going. The staff there is fantastic. Guys, go see them. Give them a shout. Holler at them. Even if you're not local to them, and follow them on Facebook. Give them some encouragement. Just tell them keep going. And all this that we're dealing with now, with this pandemic and those things, I think the most important thing we can do is be beacons of light and grace and mercy to those people that are serving us. And so, the restaurant industry has really stepped up and taken a big hit, but stayed open and served us and tried to hold on. So special thanks to everyone, healthcare workers and restaurant folks specifically are near and dear to my heart. So thank you all for that.
And I want to thank you, everybody that's in the service right now as well, Canadian and military members. I just thank you so much for your service. Thank you for maybe I'm thanking myself too, but I'm not including myself on this. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
I just want to say, though, listen, thank you guys, especially those that are on deployment right now, that are not having the greatest of times overseas. Thank you so much. Understand, we appreciate you. We're thinking about you. And please, be safe out there. Brad, episode 20 in the books, my man.
Right. Just like
I can't believe it. Just like the what?
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.